Hello everyone, I'm Kamila Sitwell from Epic Midlife, and today I'm doing a quick interview for the Portugal News with Alicia Rodriguez. Alicia is a well-known person, well-known voice in the expat community in the Algarve. She is a revolutionary and very inspiring coach that is teaching transformation, but she is also a trusted guide amongst leaders and entrepreneurs in this region and abroad, for people who want to make an impact, who want to transition, who are looking for more purpose and more meaning in life. So, Alicia, it's a pleasure to meet with you today. Thank you for meeting me.
Thank you.
She's also a best-selling author of The Shaman's Wife and Everyday Epiphanies. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I would like to ask you a few questions. But before I do, I'm going to ask you if do you know roughly the number of people, the percentage of people who are aspiring to relocate to another country and they live around the world?
Offhand, I do not know what the percentage is. What is it?
So from all the people around the world, the latest stats indicate that it's around 20% of people who want to relocate and live in another country. And this number is much higher amongst the midlifers like us, the over 40. It's actually 1 in 4 people. They have an aspiration, a dream to relocate. So
wow, that's high.
It's a very big number.
Yeah.
But here is the thing. It's less than 1%.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 67% of people who actually make it happen.
Right. I imagine that most of them don't make it happen.
They don't make it happen. And there is a reason for that.
Right.
But what is really interesting, why such a big number of people want to relocate? What do you think is the aspiration, that desire? Because it's in par with the number of people who want to have children. Massive, right?
I think there's a number of reasons, especially because you said it was midlife, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned midlife. So at midlife, something happens in terms of human development. And what it is you start reevaluating your life and you start asking yourself, is that all there is? That's kind of the question that happens. Is that all there is? I've worked so hard, I have a career, how come I don't feel fulfilled? That often happens in midlife. And so there's a reassessment and a recalibration of what they find meaningful, what they find fulfilling. And oftentimes there's a sense of glamour about going abroad. You know, I'm going to go abroad, I'm going to take my family, I'm going to find work and all of this. So there's that. It's not necessarily that people are unhappy, but it could be that there's time for change. I'm ready for a change. I'm kind of getting bored with what I have. I think it's that. And then I think there's another group of people who, on the less positive side, are maybe tired of the kind of life that they're leading wherever it is. It could be economics. It could be a shift in the politics and the economies of the country. So you have these you have both the inside force, it's like, what's going on with me? How come I don't feel fulfilled? And then you have the external force, it's like, what's going on in the environment? What's going on in the country or the place I live? So I think those are the two major areas that I would look at to question what causes someone to leave the country and their life and go somewhere else.
Brilliant. And then as someone who has transitioned and moved to another country, not just another country, another continent, 2 or 3 times in your life, what do you think should be the key considerations for people who actually decide, you know what, I'm ready, I'm going to do it, whatever it takes, I'm going to book the ticket and go ahead? What will be the top 2 or 3 things you believe they should look deep inside and really think about before they make the move?
Well, I think it's a mistake when people move thinking that they're leaving all their baggage behind. I'm telling you, baggage comes with you. All kinds of baggage comes with you. So I think the very first thing is really being introspective about why I want to move and what would cause me to be happier here than there. There's that aspect of it. There's something that you just said at the end of it. Tell me again what you said at the end. You said something that just made me think of something that I forgot.
I don't remember either.
But anyway, so the things that they want to look at is, are they doing it because it's coming from a positive place. I'm not trying to fix something.
Or escape something.
Or escape something, exactly. And so then that's what I mean. It's coming from a positive place because then you bring that with you. And the thing is that it's not easy. Yet you have to be resilient. You have to be really open to being in what I call the unknown. You really don't, you can do all the research in the world and you will end up someplace not knowing a lot. And so don't bring your culture with you. Don't bring your belief system with you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. What I'm saying is you have to be open that other countries do things differently. And if you really are interested in integrating into another culture, then that open-mindedness, when you say one or two things, I think open-mindedness, resiliency, resourcefulness, I think those are all things that will assist someone in making a move to a different culture in a different country.
And there's possibly also an element of looking into what you're trying to fix with that move. Because if it's an element such as, I don't know, I'm feeling lonely living in Berlin, I'm going to be happier living in Portugal, maybe the truth is you never made enough effort, you never really, put yourself out there. So unless you change it within yourself, the likelihood of you suddenly being surrounded by friends and having an amazing social life, it's probably not going to happen.
And that's a lot of reason why people leave places. So we're talking about going somewhere. On the other side of that is, why do people leave?
In the first place.
In the first place, right? And so I think your point is well taken. So if I'm leaving a place because I haven't built community, because I don't feel like I fit in, and I go somewhere else and I think, I'm going to build community, I don't fit in, but I haven't really understood why I didn't fit into Berlin in your case or wherever it was. So it's both sides of the coin.
Absolutely. And on the other side, you actually made the move to Ecuador. You did it for love and a sense of adventure and a little bit of mysticism, because this is you and you come from this scientific world of proper coaching, proper corporate coaching and leadership. And then you discovered a new world of mysticism, but it didn't quite work out the way you wanted.
No, it didn't.
And there was a little bit of trauma there and a lot of learning and a lot of looking on the inside. Tell me, as someone who's gone through it and went to a place that didn't work for you, for whatever reason,
right?
How difficult it is to reverse that? What does it take to change it, to find the courage to do it again? Did you go back to the US or did you find a new place? What were the steps? What did you do to get yourself out of Ecuador to a new place?
So I wish I could tell you it was strategic. It really wasn't. First, staying in Ecuador and understanding that this is not working out the way I thought it was going to work out. The next thing I thought of was, well, then what do I need to do to make it work? How do I need to adapt? I tried that, but there were other circumstances, and which is why I wrote the book, The Shaman's Wife, that were just overwhelmingly challenging that I couldn't overcome. And then in a conversation with a friend of mine, I had said to her, I really need to leave Ecuador. And I had not really thought about where to go. I actually thought I would go back to Colombia, which is where my family is from. And my friend said, well, what are you missing? And I said, well, I'm missing culture. I'm missing beautiful food. I'm sick of, plantains, rice, and beans. I want art. I want music. I want this. I want that. And she said to me, you'd really like Portugal. And then it was a process of, look, I've thought of Portugal. I've lived in Europe, but I'd never visited Portugal. I knew no one in Portugal. I didn't know the language. And so I started doing research. And so that was a piece of it. It's like I did as much research as I could, but it was during COVID. And so my idea of coming to do a scouting trip, that was not going to work because Portugal closed the borders to tourism. And then I thought, I'm going to apply for the resident visa, which was the only way I could get in. Again, there was a lot of research done, a lot of planning, very methodical on my part, which is, I can do methodical if I have to. And then just saying to myself, if I get there and I don't like it, I'll go somewhere else. So there's this aspect of belief in self,
Yes.
right? So I've lived in 6 countries. Actually, I counted one day. I was like, I've lived in 6 countries. And each time it was adapting and being courageous about it and looking inside to really, I honestly, I didn't think I would ever be that courageous. I didn't think I could be that resilient. And so when you move to a different environment and a different culture, a different country, I think one of the most beautiful aspects of doing that is you find out about yourself in ways that you never thought. I never thought I could be so resilient. I never thought I could be this courageous. And, you know, my friends would say, that is so courageous. And my answer was always, you know, there's a fine line between courage and crazy, and I'm not sure which side I'm on. Because I could be on the crazy side too. But it is that kind of, you know, planning combined with a sense of strength, resilience, and courage, I guess, to do it, you know.
And one more question. You are quite well known in the expat community here. You've been here for
4 years.
4 years.
I'll be 5 years in December in Portugal.
5 years now. And how did you create your communities? How did you find your tribe? Did you sign up for clubs or sports groups?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Well, okay, first of all, I'm an introvert, believe it or not.
and you came here during COVID, by the way.
And I
right?
came during COVID.
So it's not like people were hanging out and
No.
looking for friends.
No. I think it helps to have a dog because people always like dogs, which I have a dog. So yes, I came during COVID. I ended up in Ferragudo, but before that, when I talked about doing research, I went to Facebook. I really don't like Facebook, but I have to tell you, the online communities, it could be for Portugal, it could be for Spain, it could be for wherever, but there are all these online communities. And I would say that for the most part, people are very generous. So I read a lot. I read about people's actual experiences. So in a way, I had a heads up for like, where do I want to go? What kinds of communities do I want to, you know, investigate? And so by the time I came to Lisbon, even though it was COVID, I had built, you know, a few people that I could call and say, hey, I'm in such and such, I was in Arroz, you know, do you want to go out for dinner? Let's meet. And so, you know, Lisbon had started to open up by January. And this is January of 21. And then when I came to Ferragudo, ironically, all the restaurants were closed, but they all did takeout. So I got to meet all the owners because I was committed. When I moved to a community, one of my commitments is supporting that community, and you know, because you do the same thing. And so I made sure that at least twice, 3 times, I would get takeout from one of the local restaurants. And that's the give back, right? You give back to your community. So part of finding your community is understanding it's not just taking, it's giving. It's giving.
Yes.
It's giving. And there are all kinds of ways to give.
It comes back.
It totally comes back threefold. And then finding, you know, my social tribe. And for an introvert, I had to make myself. I designed this thinking process. My commitment was that I would say yes to everything, every invitation, even though I didn't want to go. Like I get seasick, but I went on a boat and I just drank a lot of ginger water. But I met some great people. So every time I got an invitation, it was, thank you, I would love to go. Yes, I would like to do that. Yes, I can meet you for coffee. And so saying yes, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Alicia, I know that about you because every time with the women's community that we run in the Algarve and now in Portugal, every time we need inspirational speaker, a coach, a mentor, someone to run a session, it's like, Alicia will deliver. She can't say no. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Final question. Epic midlife. What does it mean? Epic midlife. What would be the ultimate? What is your idea of epic midlife?
I think I'm living it.
You probably do.
I think for me, epic midlife is freedom. It's the freedom to do what I want to do, which for me is writing more books, writing more essays, publishing poetry. Writing is a huge part of what I do. It's the freedom to be able to get up in the morning and walk the cliffs around here in the Algarve. It's the freedom to, work with someone who may need something and see that shift, that transformation when I do my retreats. So, I was just talking to someone like yesterday, and I said, I just don't want to do anything I don't want to do. And I'm that to me is epic midlife. It's like, I now know what I want on my terms, and that's across the board, and I have really good boundaries about, what I choose to do and what I choose not to do. And they're very unapologetic. I think at midlife, you get to the place where you don't give any more, yes. And you don't apologize anymore. So I think that for me is an epic midlife. And oh my God, the international community here, I learned so much from so many people from all over the world. So I think maybe part of epic midlife for me is learning. It's like learning from other people and learning from the people who live in Portugal and not
the
just
country itself.
It has a different yes, and traveling through the country. I mean, here you are in Europe. I'm still wanting to travel through Portugal. I still haven't seen. I want more. And meeting people and I always say we have relationships not with one another but through one another. So I see myself reflected in you, and you will see yourself reflected in me. And I think that's where we understand that we're so interconnected. So being an immigrant or an expat, how do you get to that point where you feel that give and take, that interconnectedness? And a lot of it has to do with giving back, being open, and stepping out of your comfort zone.
Alicia, on that note, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was an interview with Alicia Rodriguez, and until next time, we'll speak to you soon.